Recording now.
Awesome, thanks. Hello, everyone. I see there are still quite a few of you here, 94. That's great. My name is Christian Hoffman, and I want to talk about automated systems and automated strategies for future trading here today. I had shiny presentation like set up like a PowerPoint and whatnot, and I chimed into a couple of the other presentations. And as David said, we're presentation number like 7 or 8 today. So I bet you have seen like plenty shiny things. And then I thought, maybe we just mix it up a little bit, and we ditch a PowerPoint, and we ditch just like the formal, kind of structure of it, to mix it up a little bit. I don't want you guys to sit through another like 45 minutes or so through a formal presentation. So if that's okay with you, then we basically just look a little bit into automated systems. Please let me know in the chat here. If the majority of you like just wants to have like PowerPoint and go into that, I'm happy to do that too. But I thought we're mixing it up a little bit. And by the way, you can see my screen. You can hear me okay? You can just type in the chat, only that I know we're good to go here. I'm not entirely sure if I have the right chat. Oh, here you go. Okay, thanks, Melky. Okay, perfect. Danny, awesome. Thanks for confirming that. Okay, so then let me dive into here right now, and we're ditch the formal presentation. So everything I will talk about here today is geared around future trading only, and in particular future day trading. So it's not a swing trading, it's not position trading. It is really flat out future day trading. Everything we'll look at, or what I trade and our students trade, is also strictly in the cash session hours. I know that a couple of our students trade pre-sessions or after session, but in general we try to keep our trading for only the regular cash hours, and even more particular in the New York cash session. So that would be like 9:30 till 4 p.m. So basically just the New York Stock Exchange session, not the future session, which goes like a little bit longer. Why we do this? The very first thing is like most movements happen in that period anyway. And the second thing is the volume is just like very, very good in that session. And we do not need to make like a hat or having like concerns to go and, chase after trades and getting filled and whatnot if it goes into thinner markets at the edges of these sessions. I will explain everything I have on my screen here in a second. But only so far is, if you like what you see and what you hear, we're having like a mastermind coming up all around automated trading systems in future markets. I will post the link here later in the chat box, and you can sign up. That's on Thursday, this Thursday night. So for everyone who wants to come over there, you're very, very welcome. Okay. So first, let me show you what we're looking at here today. This is my screen. I have it on a remote computer. So this is my regular screen. Well, here's also the shiny presentation I had worked off, or prepared for this, which we did here today. When we look at my trading screen, which is all on one VPS, you see a couple of things on the left-hand side here. That's my connection to Interactive Brokers. I'm using Interactive Brokers as a broker. I like it a lot for multiple reasons. And the rest of the windows here is NinjaTrader. Everything I show you here is a solution you can basically put into your NinjaTrader and connect right in, through your NinjaTrader. The window up here, let me just like make this a little bit smaller here. The window up here is basically just the account connection window, which shows that I'm connected to 2 of my IB accounts. And then there's a connection just for data feed purposes, which I use Kinetic for, because Interactive Brokers has no historical like data, and I always like to have a live data like account connection, so my account connected, and then on the other hand side, just a backup connection that we have historical data if we need it. This year, this window right here, that is the control center, where all the automated trading systems, or robots as we call them, are set up. Each item or each line item is one robot. If we start on the top, just to show you what you're looking at here, on the left-hand side, that's the strategy name. In this case, it's the Mother Gusher. It trades the crude oil on a 5-minute period. And, these here would be then, if we have trades, the unrealized and realized profits. And enabled just means that the strategy is enabled and good to go. And again, I have probably 40 strategies or 35 strategies in this particular strategy portfolio. On the right-hand side, we have a couple of charts. What I also do like a lot is not only looking at the strategy inside the overview window, but also looking at it on a chart. That gives me the sense and also the ability to take a look into it, throughout the day if I choose to. For instance, here, when I open it up, you see I have a couple of tabs up here, and each tab has one strategy applied to it, so that I actually can see all the trades the strategy has taken. Okay, this in this case is the straight no chaser. We're trading it on the E-mini S&P 500 on a 30-minute chart. And then you can basically just go through, see the charts, and also see the trading going on when we are in the market. As I say, all of this closes at 4 p.m. So I cannot show you, obviously, the live trades, because we're just basically closed out everything at 4 p.m. But we can then see the trades that has taken place that particular day or that particular period. Okay. The most important part when it comes to robot trading is obviously how you organize it, and that you're able to set it up in a way that it really can help you accomplish whatever it is you want to accomplish. I chose to trade. I also trade manually multiple things, but I choose to use robots for my trading a long time ago to basically have like a baseline trading going on, even though when I'm not kind of sitting on the screen or in front of the screen. However, it is not a set and forget kind of setup. It's not that you have an automated trading system or a robot, you turn it on, and then you go on vacation, and when you're back, everything is fine, right? So the process this has on a daily basis is basically every morning before 9:30, you need to make sure the robots are turned on so they're ready to go when the cash session starts. And every day at 4 o'clock, when basically our session stops, I just check in. Basically, I see exactly what you guys see in here, see what the trades were for that particular day, see if there might be any issue that a trade is not closed or something that needs to have manual interaction with it. And if so, I still have lots and lots of time between 4 p.m. and let's say the future market close an hour later, or depends on which market it is, to then just close out the trade manually that I never carry into overnight. I don't like to carry into overnight, not only for the reason that it's obviously a margin perspective and whatnot, even though my account could handle it, but also to really make sure there's no overnight exposure. And when I quit trading with the robots, I'm kind of done trading for the day, and I want to make sure I'm entirely flat for the day. Okay, so there's no shenanigans going on when I'm not available on the screen to just sit here. Okay. Before I go like a little bit like deeper into a couple of concepts here, I would love to hear from you guys so that I know like in which direction I can switch the content. I like to hear from you guys, like who of you guys has experience with automated trading systems or trading robots. If you can just type in the chat box here to give me some feedback. Niall, is Niall the right pronunciation? You have? Okay, perfect. Steve, Kirk. Okay, Kirk not. Okay, perfect. Nay. Neil. Okay, thank you. So some mixed. Okay, some of you have, some of you haven't. Okay, so for the guys didn't really use them. So if you have used them in the past, what was the biggest issue you ran into? Like whatever it was, like the single biggest like issue, like with performance, or was like using them, or was like whatever it was, it would be very, very helpful to get a idea. No experience. Yeah, scared of them. Rose, that is a very common thing. Trade stations, sync trades when turn on. Okay, setting up parameters. Okay, I can see that. Yeah, it is a little bit of a different animal, because you need to, as Rose say, you need to be able to trust them, right? It always feels weird to give the control of trading out of hand, and basically let the computer do the work for it. And overcoming the initial trust is probably also one of the biggest challenges our students have or had before they basically came into our solution. And obviously I'm knowing that from myself too. Doing that since probably like a little bit more than 15 years, and there have been like moments where I was like so afraid to just like turn them on, especially when you go into losing streaks, and you basically can or should not interact with them, right? Because like quite frankly, if you make the decision to trade with the robots, one of the biggest benefits is also the biggest challenge. The biggest benefit is obviously you don't need to monkey around with it. You don't need to micromanage it. You don't need to manage your trade, right? But again, on the other side, what Rose exactly says is you need to trust that the robot is doing whatever he's designed to do. And it's always easy to trust a robot when everything is great, right? It's same with your manual trading. If you have a strategy, a setup and whatnot, you trade, everything is good, everything is clicking, the trust is there. The problem comes up when there are losing periods, losing streaks, and then to stick with it, right? One of the biggest things for me to overcome that, even from back in the day, is I'm absolutely a firm believer that you, or for the matter of fact, nobody should put everything on one card to say, I buy a robot and now I turn it on, and it's either yay or nay. It's either good or bad, right? It's always binary, but try to spread it out in a way that you say, well, how about there's a second robot, a third robot, a fifth robot, or however it is, to spread your trading more across an entire portfolio versus one single thing where you're like at the verge of, does it work or not? And that's why you see obviously on my screen that I have like a whole bunch of them for exactly that reasons. That I know is, some like, first of all, every robot will win or lose. There is no like 100% win rate or whatnot. There will be drawdowns, there will be good times, there will be bad times, as with every trader, with every setup, with every strategy, right? So the idea is, or was, to say, well, how about I, combine a whole array of different robots, in a way that, like that if one robot is very weak at, let's say, certain periods of the day, how about I pair it up with a robot which is then, very strong in that periods of the day, to try to really see it from a portfolio aspect, to get smaller drawdowns, and to average out the entire portfolio a little bit better, right? And that helped, not only me, but also a lot of our students to build the trust you need to really actually turn on a robot and let it do its job, right? And today, for example, when we look at that, the performance you see on my chart is today. So that is all trading which has taken place between 9:30 a.m. this morning and 4 p.m. just like about like an hour ago. Okay, so when we look at the account here, it was a good day, by the way. Not all days are that, but this portfolio I'm running here made a little bit more than $32,000 today. And that means we had 24 trades. The win rate was pretty amazing today. Again, that's not a normal thing and will not happen every day. You have good days, you have bad days, and you have good weeks and you have bad weeks. On average, we have like, very, very, very rarely losing month, but that happens obviously too. But in general, we try to get like a minimum of robots, like, up and running, to get a really crucial minimum number of trades out of it, to make sure we're having always the opportunity and always be able to hatch the trading, right? So let's take a look at the performance today. 24 trades. Again, about $32,000 in gains here. When you then look at these, you see I don't trade big position sizes here. I have a decent size account, yes, but every robot here just trades one contract. And I have even like some robots which only trade micro contracts, which is basically just a tenth of the value of like a regular contract, right? And you can see on a single contract basis, those robots, deliver like impressive results on a day-by-day basis, on days that, move. Today was a fantastic day, as I say. On the other hand side, you see a lot of zeros in here. That means those robots have not traded today. These robots are designed more for markets which may just like, be in a mean reversion state, or on a just a sideways choppy market, right? So, on other days, you see like these guys then trade and the others don't. And it's kind of like a mixed kind of thing where you can kind of like, start hatching this entire like robot portfolio, okay? Let's see. Yeah, so Melky, that is right. So basically, all robots, we run can either be traded on the regular contract or on the micro contract, and you can basically like just choose whatever you feel comfortable with, right? Example here. So we have the Brunch Ranger. This one here, it's trading the MES, which is the micro contract, right? And we have the same Brunch Ranger with a little bit like a different settings parameter up here, and it's trading the full size contract. And again, this trades one full size contract, and this trades one micro contract. Why don't we even like use micro contracts or full size contracts? That has something to do with like how you build your own personal portfolio. Basically, when you say you have one robot with like, let's say a different set of parameters depending on when you want to trade and how often you want to trade, then it might be when you look at the historical performance to say, hey, historical speaking, I can trade one big contract, and but I cannot trade two, right? So how about I trade one like big full size contract, and then I trade one or two or three or four micro contracts with the same strategy, which gives me then 1.1, 1.3, 1.4 contracts, right? So micro contracts are very great to be able to really tweak in detail when you look at a portfolio basis. When it comes down to just like a like a business point of view, a micro contract is obviously not as good as a full size contract when you look at the costs involved with it, right? If you see like how much money your broker charges you to trade one micro contract compared to one full size contract, and then you say, well, how about I trade 10 micro contracts or one full size contract? You see that the cost of the trade is a multiple of with the micro contracts. But again, micro contracts are phenomenal things when you want to just like break it down a little bit further, right? And also what you say, Melky, that is also where it kind of like comes to trust. Everything we do and teach is, you should always come in with the mindset and the entry frame of, I don't trust it, because, quite frankly, you do not get out, buy something or subscribe to something or go to some trade room or buy a robot and turn it on and like trust it right away. Like, how can you? That would be blind trust. That would be like stupid. I know you guys don't do it, right? But like, how should you be able to start easing into robot trading or even start learning to trust a robot in the first place? Because at some point you would need to go and put some money on the line, and that therefore like micro contracts are just amazing. What we teach with everything with the robots is, again, don't take our word for it. Just let the performance speak. How you do it, you set it up, you like add, mix and match whatever robot you want. You let it run on a simulation account. After you feel comfortable with it and you see that you can start trusting the robot in general, what it does, what your robot portfolio does, then start very much easing in to do it with live money. And at that point, a micro contract is perfect. You build your portfolio of 2, 5, 7, 10, 20, 40 robots, whatever it is, put one micro contract in there and have the ability to basically risk manage it that way, because a micro contract will not really kill you, right? So if you have like a couple of losses on the micro contract, it's it is what it is. On the other hand side, it will also not make you rich or really kind of get you a lot of money. But for the learning perspective, it's just like the perfect instrument. And then you can scale up like one micro contract, 2, 5, up until a full size contract, right? And again, as you see, the most robot I trade on full size contracts. I have just like a couple of robots which I trade on micro contracts. Yeah, so fantastic question. When we look at trading robots in general, and again, when we just like go back to today's trade performance here, so just today, okay. So we're looking at this. Then what you can see too is it's a very like biased market, right? And that is probably also like one other question you guys have on your mind is, do the robots trade just long, just short, whatever it is? In general, all of our robots trade long and short, and that it doesn't really matter which market it is. But some are definitely stronger on the long side versus some are stronger on the short side. And it's just like, you can see or you can picture every single robot as, as an individual trader, right? Every trader has his strong sides And definitely every single trader has its weaknesses, right? And we just try to leverage the strong portions of the robot with weak portions of other robots to kind of form the portfolio, right? And again, as today was a very much long bias day, we had barely trades on the short side. We only had one short trade, which was like flat out a loser, and we had 23 long trades, which basically made up the performance, right? So that is like in general. From the numbers, again, when we just look at one day, this looks obviously fantabulous, like $1,000 drawdown. Well, this drawdown is just because like of the short trade, period, right? If we look at a little bit longer period, you will see obviously, there are drawdowns in there, right? So let's, the beginning of the month was a little bit rough here. If we just see what this particular portfolio has made throughout the months, you see that today was like very much a strong day. So we just made shy about like a $40,000 so far in the in April, and with a decent sized drawdown of $22,000. Again, don't forget, I'm trading a decent size account. It is not set in stone, and you can size this accordingly. If you say I have a $5,000 account, of a $10,000 account, then you can kind of like start spreading it out, that you get into the robot trading and you can start scaling up as you see success, right? And if we go like back, let's say another month to say, what's the performance look like from March till now? We see, does it update here? We see from March 1st till now, we made like $62,000. But again, the drawdown is $35,000. So there is always the wavering around, right? Even though we have good days, there are bad days, there are drawdowns. Okay. So in general, that is the entire like idea of a portfolio. Okay. What we do is, and let me share that with you here too, and I will go through this. And under this point of view, we look at that too. So I just posted a link here. This is the masterclass I was talking about. So if you are interested in robot trading, future robot trading, then I invite you guys to come over to the masterclass we host. That's this Thursday. Let me just verify this. Yes. So Thursday at 4:15, it will be a live event just as this year. Where like, Kyle and I basically start explaining everything from the ground up. Obviously, even though when I tried to do a structured presentation here today within a 45 till 50 minute time window, there's just not enough time to cover everything we want to cover in this, right? This event is completely geared around that's the title too, right? The unique proven way anyone can use fully automated day trading systems to go from zero to full-time trading without the fear your bots will lose it all. What Rose said, that is one of the single most concerns. People don't even go into the robot trading. In this event, what we will cover are like four major pillars like for robot trading. And it has nothing to do if you at the end of the day and at the end of the masterclass, then take us up on the offer and on the pitch we will have for you at the end, or not, right? That really doesn't matter too much. But what matters is in this masterclass, you will absolutely learn what we believe is the best approach to robot trading you can have. Not the, I need to trust this thing and now I need to like put my life money on the line with it and then hope and pray that, the robots will not lose it all, right? As you see in the title. We'll go through something which we call backwardation certainty, which, will make sure that, the back tested results and forward tested results and whatnot, actually can and will match whatever you're doing in your live trading, because that is one of the biggest issues guys and girls have when they go into automated trading, is that you take something, you test it, it looks fantastic, you turn it on, in reality it does not work, right? And there are very particular reasons for it, why it's the case, right? The next thing we will cover is how you actually can slash your risk significantly by creating algo portfolios. Basically what you already see here on my screen, where you run a bunch of different robots at the same time to be able to offset losing streaks of one robot with winning streaks to the other robot. Okay. Then and that is like, alone for that, it is worth it to coming to this masterclass. Is there is literally one mistake and one pitfall almost everyone who starts with automated trading system falls in, and we'll show you that, we'll break it apart and try to make sure that whatever you do from there on out, that you don't fall into that pitfall. Okay. And last but not least is we'll cover actually how you are able to go, no matter where you are and how big your account is, from where you are now to where you want to be with automated trading systems. And the key is, and I know some traders don't have a lot of money to lose and not too big accounts, and we just want to make sure we make it accessible to everyone, that again, no matter where you are, you can start with it and progress with it. That is like an absolute key thing, and you need to progress with it on absolutely your terms, right? That means start trading a micro contract or 2 or 3 or whatever it is. Start trading like only 3, 5, or 10 robots and not 30 robots, and all of this. Okay, so I'm very, very excited about this class, and I can only say, if you are interested in automated trading systems, you should go there and sign up, and come over on Thursday and be part of this class. Also, and that's just like a little bonus, when you sign up and you stay throughout the webinar with an open mind, you get a free fully automated trading system for free. One of our S&P 500 bots called the S&P 500 Income Strategizer. So you can just go there, sign up, show up to the event, stay there, and you get that robot absolutely free. There is absolutely no strings attached. Okay. So let's see, there are some questions. Can we use for day trading manually? It's an excellent question. So, the short answer is yes. So what we do with every single robot, there is an extra mode you can choose. Obviously, the robots, each single robot is designed to do everything automatically. Enter, manage, and exit the position, so that you do not need to interact manually. However, each strategy or each robot has a switch which you can turn on, which basically allows you, or tells the robot, the only thing it should do is enter the trade. And after that, you in that mode, you can go and basically move the stop, move the target, and manage the trade completely on your own. We have some people who use that feature, especially like guys who trade a lot throughout the day. They just want to make sure they're getting the entries, and they're in, and after that they start managing the position on their own, and the robot is out. So that is integrated and at your disposal if you want to. Okay. Yeah. So Melky, also amazing question. Can the bots trade all European, American, Asian session? They can. So the robots itself are capable of trading any moment when the market is open. It doesn't matter if it's like Sunday night at 1 minute after 6 Eastern Standard Time to Friday when the market closes. Can trade the cash session, the Globex session, pre-market, post-market, and whatnot. What we always say is, and that is what I say like at the very beginning is, I don't like to do that with the robots. I only trade them between 9:30 and 4 o'clock. Again, that's my personal preference, out of multiple reasons. And I will go more, into details why that is also in the workshop and the masterclass we host. But technically, you can turn them on and configure them whenever you want. Yes, if you are in Europe and you want to do your trading in the European session, absolutely, or Asia, can do. Yeah, let me post the link here too. This here is the link. I post here in the chat window. You just go there. You see, you come to this page, and then you just basically say, yes, save my seat now. You put your credentials in here, and then automatically your sign up. We'll send you an email with the Zoom link and whatnot, and then you can come to the session on Thursday and learn anything or everything about the robots here. Any questions? How many people are in it? It's like 85 people. Okay, so Malky, great question. You don't need to do anything. So all robots come pre-configured with everything. So you can choose to basically take them, including the templates, including the set, everything as it is, and it always, or it completely, installs automatically the templates and the default settings. And you can just use it as it is. Everything you see here, all the robots in this portfolio I use here are completely default settings. I have not touched any of those settings, and you could use them as they are. I know, however, that a lot of people in our group start tinkering around with the settings. When it comes down to which days should the robot trade, which times should the robot trade, or even, say, well, I only want to risk so much, or, you can basically tinker around with it to make them completely fit your way, or you take them like, off the shelf the same way I use it. Tapas, the free gift, it's very easy. You go to this page here, you register for the event, you show up at the event on Thursday on 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 4:15 Eastern Standard Time. You stay through the event, and automatically you get a free robot, the S&P 500 strategizer, delivered to your inbox, and you can start monkeying around with that one. Mm-hmm. And that's also like a preference, with the question about do I need to have like multiple monitors up or not? In general, the way I handle it, I put it on one monitor because I have it on a remote server, right? I'm not running the robots locally. You can run them on your normal trading machine, not a problem whatsoever. My preference is I'm using a VPS service, so that I can log in from everywhere I want, and I'm not tied to my trading computer per se, and that's why it looks all cramped together a little bit here too, because I have it all on one screen. Again, we have a lot of students who's just using that and use it on 6, 8, 12 screens and whatnot. It's absolutely your choice. You can customize it whatever, the same way you would customize NinjaTrader when you trade manually. Mm-hmm. Thursday at 4:15 4:15 Eastern. Post the link here again. Just go there and sign up. Awesome. Always wanted to ask about automated trading systems, robots. Yes, we will record that session. I know for a lot of guys, it's depending on where you are in the world, 4:15 p.m. Eastern might not be the most convenient time. You should totally register anyway. Yes, you can use it for manually day trading. As I say, is you can let the robot enter, automatically, and then you can manually move the stop, the target, and do whatever you want to do. Again, the basic idea was, we designed it not with, that you don't need to do that, but if you choose to, you can do that. Yes. Awesome. I'm looking forward to seeing you. Awesome. Where I have you guys is like what what future markets you guys mostly trade. If you like to type it in the chat box. And QES, yeah, that's what I mostly trade with the robots too. Yeah, you see that. Again, well, the majority of the robots, run in ES and NQ, just also for the reason that the markets are deep, and there's like decent size of volume to trade. Melky, new Nasdaq, ES, CL. Okay, cool. Yeah, those are the markets. We try to stay away from thinner markets and more, let's say, like more exotic markets, even though we have robots and like any sort of markets, but those are the core markets. So we're concentrating on Nasdaq, S&P, crude oil, and gold. Those are the 4 markets which we trade the most. Yes. So that's an excellent question, and I can. So let's take a look at one of the robots that traded today, for instance. One of these guys here. Early birdie, for instance, right? So trades the Nasdaq. Uses a 15-minute period, made about $3,500 on one contract today. Let me see. Oh, here's the chart for this one. Okay, so we can cramp it up a little bit. So it has a good month so far. So by looking at the chart, you already kind of like get an idea of the baseline idea. One thing I want to make sure to also say, and you will hear me talking about that in the masterclass even more so. I am an absolute 100% friend of transparency. I believe that if you have a trading robot or an automated trading system where you don't know exactly what it does and why, you should not even start with it. I know that it sounds controversial, because if you go and buy like a automated trading system somewhere, like the developers say, well, no, I never tell you how this works, because if I do, I need to shoot you and whatnot. And that's all bull crap, right? So what we do was all the robots, and every single robot you see here, and again, you will hear me talking in the masterclass more about, we're completely transparent with the idea, what the robot is doing, what it's designed to do, and what are like all the parameters and ideas about it, because only then you can start trusting it and also start following it, that it actually does what it's supposed to do. I have, each robot has actually a vital sheet where the entire strategy is written out in detail of this robot is doing that, why it's doing that, and what the purpose is. Again, and that's just like the way transparency like works for us, right? And but again, you will learn much more about it. So for this year, early birdie. So why is this guy called the early birdie? Well, first off, the name is really kind of like exactly what it gets, just from a general perspective. We're trading like, always early in the day, right? So you see that entry here was at 10:30. This entry here was at 10:15, right? So this is a robot who usually, if you use it the way we recommend with the settings, you will have your trading or your trade entries done before 11 a.m. And that's just period. After that, there's no trading anymore with this robot. So early birdie, right? So the basic idea of the strategy, and again, where we don't have enough time to go into all the details, is it is basically a continuation of of a trend which has developed very, very early in the morning, often or mostly even in the European session, right? And again, just very, very roughly, you see like the trade here, for instance, in the today, right, where we basically entered at 10:15, where you come out of a strong basically night session, if you will, or European session, and we are just banking on the continuation of that move. Yesterday, we kind of like sold off into the close and then just came back a little bit. At night, the market was much stronger. And this one is basically then looking at the very early session, which is the European session, to see, is there some momentum and can we make a bet that continues throughout the day? And then we hit our profit target here at like noon, right? And you see the trade here, that was a trade from the 14th, same scenario. So, the market closed here. This is like, the open, right? Because we're not showing the Globex session here. It's basically, that's the 4 o'clock candle. And this here is the like 9:15 candle, means the first 15 minutes of the cash session. So we know, or the robot knows, there was some downward movement in the European session, and we bank on that this continues down. We entered at 10:30 and we exit this one at close because we didn't really get into our profit target here, okay? And we can basically look through this, and that is kind of the bias and the pattern of that particular strategy, right? What else do we have? The chaos theory, for instance. So the chaos theory here, with a great trade here, is a little bit chaotic from the way it makes decisions on when it trades. That's why it's called like the chaos theory. But basically, what it does is, it has a multi-time frame, basically kind of like a fractals. A kind of like a fractals framework behind it, that we are looking into multiple layers of things that need to line up, to get actually the trade. Again, we have all details for all those robots. I just try to kind of like, give you like a little bit of like an overview, okay? Yep, agreed. And you should, like, again, not selling you anything here, right? Not like that's just the basics. Just don't trust it blindly. Like that is like, if you just do that, don't trust blindly, but just like judge on the actions you really actually can see, you're better off as a trader in general, right? It has nothing to do with robots, but especially with robots, all this not nonsense of like, yeah, now it's a black box and whatnot. It's all BS, right? Malky, is it possible to run a bot using end of day data and see what trades were picked up based on particular strategy? No, all of these robots are intraday robots. That means even though if you choose to, extend them into the morning or in the night session or whatnot, they all need intraday data to calculate and to trade. It will not work end of day. Excellent question. Will it work on 15 minutes only? Absolutely not. So, you see here, and again, this is just like an array, but like you see here, like 5 minute, 30 minute, 60 minute, 15 minute, 2 minute, it is like across the board. So the way this is we recommend a set of settings which are default. Again, all of these guys are ready to use, out of the box default settings. You don't need to touch anything. You can turn it on, or you load it in, turn it on, and that's it. Knowing what it does, when it should do something, what it has done in the past. Follow me. Trading at live, which is also a very, very, very important point, that you actually see it's working live in the real market with real money and real gains, real losses, real everything. Don't go into the sim BS and whatnot, right? So sorry, I can go off on a rant there, but you can actually apply those robots to any time period you want. Again, it might make the robot better, worse, and whatnot, but that's not the point. But if you say, well, 1 minute charts is my thing, or 4-hour charts is my thing, well, be my guest, right? The only thing you would then need to figure out on your own is you should better like run a back test to see if you like the results on that time frame, and then you can do it. But you're not restricted whatsoever with any time period or any time frame. Make sense? I take that as a yes. You guys have any more questions? And again, I'm sorry about the unconventional way here. I know you guys are used to seeing nice PowerPoints here throughout the day. Maybe that woke you up a little bit. I hope it's just not boring you to death. But the next presentation is coming up surely in a few minutes here. Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate that. I'm looking forward to seeing you on Thursday. If you like this, then you will love what we talk about on Thursday. And a little hint, that is a little bit more structured than this, because we need to make sure, like, to fill that in, but also like a word of, really like, it's a masterclass. So that means like you need to bring like 2 hours, 2.5 hours on Thursday that we can start talking about it. It's not a like, very quick 45-minute kind of thing. Yeah, again, you can use it for manually day trading if you want. That's just the robot enter, and the rest you do manual. And how much does it cost? Well, that all depends on like, but what I would recommend is if you're interested in that, come to the masterclass on Thursday. I will go into like some pricing and there then too, but I also want to make sure they're like, I just scratched the surface of this, right? To make sure that you really understand my entire point of view and how you really can take that and make it work for you. And then we can also talk about pricing and whatnot on Thursday. Okay. Well, awesome. If there's nothing else, I think I might be also one of the fastest here. So David, if you are around, maybe we can already kind of like start the transition.